right, welcome to this series. I decided to bring it over from YouTube, from Instagram, or bring it to YouTube from Instagram. And today, this is workout 10 of 96. We're going to start off with hammering some shoulders here. And I just did one really light warm-up set here, with just 4 areas on the bar. And again, I'm not really trying to get like full extension on these shoulder presses. I'm trying to keep that muscle more in the lengthen range just to keep the stress off the triceps because this workout I'm also going to hammer a bit of arms as well. So I want to just keep a lot of this work strictly on my shoulders. And then I just went into doing 3 sets here with the 45 on there. So aiming for like 15 reps, um, focusing on just getting that pump in the shoulders at this point. Not really trying to build a whole lot of like say strength by going really heavy here, but just focusing on getting a good pump, a good contraction, and developing a bit of rhythm. I think rhythm is something that's really important with training. You get in a bit of a flow state, you develop a bit of rhythm. You'll kind of see here, this is my last set. Um, and I'm just going to apologize in advance. I don't know how to fix the focus on this camera. Something I'll figure out so the video doesn't blur and get annoying if it is right here. But needless to say, I think you're still going to be able to learn a lot. Things I focus on while doing these shoulder presses is keeping my shoulder blades depressed and retracted, and also kind of having my elbows a bit forward as well, not out. The next thing I did was these supported, chest supported 45-degree um, rear delt flies. A lot of people go straight out. Um, I think it's fine. I prefer doing it at a 45-degree angle. I just find that I get a much better rear delt contraction by doing this. And I did a couple sets here. Last set was a drop set you see here. So I went from the 30s or 35s to 30s. Um, this workout was also very much focused on just being quick and efficient. The next exercise I did was just the cable lateral raise here. I did 4 sets here as well in the 10 to 15 rep range, just hammer these out. So not much rest in between sets here either, just focusing on getting that pumping it in and out. As this workout was done around 1:30 in the morning, and um, I was visiting my friend in Winnipeg, so this is where that training session took place. So yeah, that's basically it. And then switch sides here, basically. You'll see a bunch of different variations where you have the cable behind you or in front of you. I prefer to have the cable behind me in this case. Also, you want to have the cable adjusted to the height of your hand. A lot of people have it a lot lower, which I think is a bit of a mistake. Just get a better contraction with it being at the height of your hand, just biomechanically. I think it's just a better place to place that cable. The other thing I try to do as well is keep my shoulder blades down. I don't want my shoulder blades kind of moving all over the place. But yeah, we can also cheat a bit on a couple last reps here. Again, because we were trying to get a bit of rhythm flowing with these kind of workouts. Uh, More hypertrophy based here, not really trying to train for a whole lot of strength or form, even though a lot of people say form matters. I agree, form is important, but at the same time, you need to have a bit of rhythm to your training as well to get that volume. Don't be a complete stickler. But ideally, this is my favorite way to train the side delt, as you see here. A little bit more lockdown form wise. As you see, my shoulders aren't moving a whole lot. The shoulder blades are down and really just driving my hand down and kind of reaching out in front of me. Next movement here was just preacher curl. Again, I don't do a whole lot for biceps since I don't really bodybuild anymore. I just train um, because I love training. I think it's good to get a pump. Um, Not quite sure how I feel about building any more muscle at this stage in my life. I'm just really kind of enjoying training, but if I happen to put on a little bit more size, so be it. I am kind of liking this winter or in this fall as of late because I am putting on a little bit more size, but not really trying to, just enjoying the flow of life. To be honest with you guys, I think that's a big part of training is I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm not really looking to get ridiculously strong, even though I kind of want to. It's not really a priority for me. It's just more so get in the gym, get a good pump going, make sure I'm strong, make sure I'm mentally present at all times, and make sure I'm there to be a good father, a good coach. That's the main focus for me. So with those press downs, just kind of extend the set by moving the elbows a little bit higher up to more the mid range. So rather than having kind of the elbows close to the body, making it a bit harder. So just make it easier. And we're just supersetting here with a bicep and tricep, just because as we're working, say, the tricep, we're kind of relaxing the bicep and vice versa. So supersets are good too when you're using an antagonist muscle group. So opposing muscle group, for example, chest and back, quads and hamstrings. I didn't realize I was also pyramiding up the weight there. Yeah, I do remember this workout being fairly quick and seemed very easy to do. When it comes to like arm training too, guys, I don't do a whole lot. I used to just have just a dedicated arm day a long time ago, but I made the what I would classify as the most amount of my progress simply when I was training to get stronger in my main movements, which would be like a horizontal press, overhead press, horizontal pull, overhead pull, and strong hip hinge movement, strong squat. When I trained for those movements, um, and I just kind of focus on linear progression, that's when I got really a lot bigger than I had in the past. And I'd recommend most people follow that kind of approach as well by adding a little bit more volume or in the sense of adding sets over time and then peeling back the sets and increasing the load and repeating the process. So if you want to leave a comment in the comments section, then I can definitely send you a copy of what I'm doing right now in terms of training. But this was kind of not followed with any sort of specific plan because, again, I was traveling. So when I'm traveling, I'm going to adjust my training a bit towards what I feel like doing, but also want to focus on progressing as well, right? So I'm not going to be doing like my long, hard workouts like I would at home as to where I'm like traveling. Like I'm just trying to get in, trying to get out. And I think that's the other benefit having a membership at gyms like Anytime Fitness, just because you can go pretty much any one of their locations and they're great. So, do I think it's worth it having a premium membership? Absolutely. I think it's the money well spent. So, from Preacher Crawl, went and did a set of hammer curls here. I only did like one set with a drop set. Again, guys, I don't do a whole lot for biceps and a whole lot for triceps. It was something I did a lot of in the past and not so much anymore since I also like to do a lot more body weight exercises as well. So push ups, pull ups, dips. Those are kind of like my favorite sort of movements to do. And I don't really care to have my arms much bigger since I also like to box and do martial arts. So anything to slow down that ability to take my hand from point A to point B is probably not going to be the best thing for me. But I'll just be real with you guys. You know, if you're a single guy or whatever, definitely train your arms. Girls like guys with big arms. So I like doing this overhead extension variation instead of using a dumbbell. Use a cable. Um, Ideally, I don't mind it since the angle of the extension seems to be in line with the angle of my upper arm, the way the cable's moving. So I think it's not bad. This movement I've always felt this movement really good in my arms. So it's one that I would keep in versus having a dumbbell in place. Here's another variation of it using just the handles as well and using a hand for support. I think this is a great way um, for a lot of people to kind of get a little bit more stability to kind of get more hypertrophy. Stability is important though when you're going heavier. So definitely pick some exercises um, where you can train that. I'm not quite sure what else I did here. Yeah, I also did basically a palm up or reverse grip extension as well. Hits the different head of the triceps. Um, Find what works for you, what movements that you feel the best. And if you're not feeling a movement very well, feel free to shoot me a message and definitely develop some content around that as well. Feeling the muscles work is definitely key. What do we do over here? think this is just hammering out a set to failure here. You can tell here there's a little bit more control. I'm using my left arm to create a little bit more stability against the machine. I'm trying to keep my core locked down and a lot more control, but I'm also starting to develop a little bit more of a rhythm. So I think rhythm in your training is one of those things I think is been underrated. A lot of people focus on just getting those reps in, but when you get into a rhythm as well, it's like getting into a flow state. And I finished off with just some decline setups here on the decline bench. I did 4 sets of 25 to 30 reps with about a minute break in between. I think core should be something you're training every day, whether it be planks, leg raises, sit-ups, side planks. Your core is super important, especially as you get older. I find a lot of guys that just focus too much on machine work and stability work tend to have weaker cores, and when you have a weaker core, it's gonna take away from you in the long run. Just because you have lower energy, you're gonna have higher risk of getting injured because everything comes from your center. So make sure your core is strong. I used to train my core first, so that's also another option for you. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for giving this video a watch, like and subscribe, and follow for more values.